Christians are evacuating Jerusalem after something terrifying happened. Amidst the sacred stones and bustling markets of Jerusalem, strange events are causing widespread panic. People are waking up to news of an eerie light descending from the heavens, casting an otherworldly glow over the city. There have even been reports of trumpet-like sounds ringing through the air, mysterious events in occupied Palestine. And this glowing light is not your everyday sunrise. It is something that has even the staunchest believers questioning what's going on. People are talking about it everywhere, and the buzz is almost impossible to ignore. But that's not all. As if the strange light wasn't enough, a swarm of locusts has invaded the skies, reminding everyone of the ancient plagues of Egypt. It's like history is repeating itself, and it's sending shivers down everyone's spine. The once peaceful city is now gripped by an unsettling sense of fear and foreboding. Residents have also reported hearing powerful, mysterious sounds reverberating through the city. It is the equivalent of hearing thunderous booms and intense vibrations without a storm in sight. News is ablaze with reports from different parts of occupied Palestine, detailing these sounds that seem to come out of nowhere. Even the military and law enforcement are stumped, unable to explain these eerie echoes. So, what's behind these mysterious occurrences? Are these signs of an impending apocalypse, as ancient prophecies suggest? Some say these sounds are like metallic reverberations, almost like musical instruments being played in the sky. Others claim to hear indistinct voices mixed in with the noise. It's all very unsettling, and has left many people wondering if these are signs of something much bigger. Drawing parallels to biblical passages, these sounds and sights have led some to speculate about their apocalyptic significance. The Bible talks about the sounding of trumpets and the end times, and these events seem to fit right into those ancient prophecies. Could it be that we're witnessing the fulfillment of these prophecies? It's a question that's on everyone's mind as they scramble for answers and safety. As these events unfold, the fear and chaos continue to spread. People are unsure of what might happen next, and the tranquility that once characterized this sacred city has been replaced by an eerie sense of dread. The situation is dire, and everyone is on edge, waiting to see what will happen next in this city of profound spiritual and historical significance. Historical and spiritual significance of occupied Palestine. Holding a special place in the hearts of millions, occupied Palestine is a land steeped in history and spiritual meaning. For centuries, this sacred land has been at the center of countless narratives and legends. It's where King David dreamed of building a magnificent house for God, where his son Solomon made that dream a reality by constructing the first temple on Mount Moriah. This temple stood as a beacon of faith for around 400 years before it was destroyed by the Babylonians, an event that left a deep mark on history. After the first temple's destruction, the longing for a new temple persisted through the ages. This yearning was not just a nostalgic desire, but was deeply rooted in biblical prophecies. These prophecies suggest that the rebuilding of the temple is essential for certain end-time events to occur. This makes the idea of a third temple incredibly important to both Christians and Jews who study these ancient texts. The notion of rebuilding the temple has led to both hope and controversy, as it represents a fulfillment of divine promises for some and a source of political and religious tension for others. The land itself is a treasure trove of historical events. From the miraculous parting of the Red Sea to the awe-inspiring accounts of prophets like Elijah and Elisha performing miracles, every corner of this land tells tales of divine intervention. It's a place where the past and present intertwine seamlessly, creating a rich web of spiritual significance. For instance, the Western Wall, the last remaining part of the Second Temple, is a powerful symbol of Jewish perseverance and faith. Pilgrims from around the world come to pray here, leaving written prayers in the cracks of its ancient stones. Moreover, Occupied Palestine is home to sites that are sacred to multiple faiths. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, believed to be the site of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, stands as a major pilgrimage destination for Christians. Similarly, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock are profoundly significant in Islam, with the latter believed to be the spot from where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during the night journey. The spiritual significance of this land is also reflected in the daily lives of its people. Festivals, religious ceremonies, and traditions that date back thousands of years are still observed with great reverence. The Passover Seder, the Ramadan fast, and the Christian Holy Week are all celebrated within the walls of this ancient city, drawing visitors from across the globe who wish to connect with their faith in a deeper way. In addition to its religious importance, occupied Palestine holds a central place in the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. Its history of conflict and conquest, from the ancient Egyptians and Babylonians to the Romans and Ottomans, has shaped its unique cultural and historical identity. The ongoing political struggles and peace efforts continue to draw international attention, underscoring the land's enduring significance. Ultimately, the historical and spiritual significance of occupied Palestine transcends time. It's a land where the divine and human narratives intersect, where every stone and site is imbued with centuries of faith, hope, and divine promise. This convergence of history and spirituality continues to inspire and challenge those who walk its ancient paths, making it a place of profound reflection and reverence. Warnings from Isaiah. And there's more. Centuries ago, the prophet Isaiah delivered some spine-chilling warnings that are strikingly relevant today. He warned of a future marked by thunder, earthquakes, and devouring fire, signs that signal the end times. Isaiah's prophecies weren't just casual predictions. They were vivid, powerful messages meant to prepare the people for what was to come. He spoke of a time when the Lord of hosts would punish the world with great noise, storms, and flames. These weren't natural disasters. They were divine interventions meant to shake humanity to its core and remind them of God's power. In his vivid imagery, Isaiah described people hiding in the holes of rocks and caves, seeking refuge from the terror of the Lord and the glory of his majesty. Picture this: entire cities trembling, with people scrambling for safety, knowing that something far greater than themselves was at play. This wasn't just fear of the unknown, it was a deep, instinctual understanding that they were witnessing the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. Fast forward to today, and these warnings seem to be coming to life right before our eyes. The mysterious events unfolding in occupied Palestine, the eerie lights, the haunting sounds, and the swarms of locusts, all echo Isaiah's ancient warnings. It's as if time itself is unraveling, revealing the truth of these prophecies to a modern world that desperately needs to heed their message. Isaiah's warnings remind us that we are part of a much larger narrative. As we witness these signs, we are called to reflect on our lives, our faith, and our place in this grand story. It's a wake-up call, urging us to prepare for what's coming and to find strength in our faith as the world around us trembles. Biblical prophecies and controversial topics. When it comes to biblical prophecies, Jerusalem is often at the heart of the discussion. The city has always been a focal point for end-time events, and recent happenings have only fueled the fire. It is a place where ancient texts come to life, where prophecies written thousands of years ago seem to unfold right before our eyes. It's both thrilling and unsettling. One major prophecy that gets people talking is the idea of the Third Temple. After the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD, there's been endless speculation about whether a new temple will be built. The Bible, especially the book of Daniel, hints that a new temple is essential for certain end-time events. This makes the idea of a third temple incredibly significant for those who study these prophecies. But building a third temple isn't just a matter of laying bricks and mortar. The Temple Mount, where it would be constructed, is also home to the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, two of the most sacred sites in Islam. This makes the concept of building a new temple highly controversial and politically sensitive. Imagine trying to navigate the deeply held beliefs and passions of both Jews and Muslims, all while fulfilling ancient prophecies. Another hot topic is the timing of the end-time events. Different groups have different interpretations of when these events will occur. Some believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, where believers are taken up to heaven before the tribulation begins. Others believe in a mid-tribulation, post-tribulation, or even pre-wrath rapture. It's a complex and often heated debate, with each viewpoint offering its own timeline for the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. As these prophecies and controversies swirl around Jerusalem, they capture the imagination and concern of believers worldwide. They remind us that we are living in times of great significance, where ancient words are not just read, but seen and felt. The discussions may be complex, but the message is clear. We are part of a much larger story, one that spans centuries and connects us to the divine. In these moments, we are called to reflect on our beliefs, our actions, and our place in this unfolding narrative. The doctrine of the rapture and Jesus' teachings. One of the most talked about topics among Christians today is the doctrine of the rapture. Imagine a moment when believers are suddenly taken up to meet Jesus in the air, leaving the world behind. It's a captivating and sometimes controversial idea that sparks endless debates and discussions. The doctrine of the rapture centers around the belief that Jesus will return to gather his faithful followers. But the big question is, when will this happen? There are several different viewpoints. Some believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, where believers are taken up before a period of intense tribulation begins. This view offers hope that the faithful will be spared from the coming hardships. Others subscribe to a mid-tribulation or post-tribulation rapture, believing that believers will endure part or all of the tribulation before being taken up. Then there's the pre-wrath view, suggesting that the rapture will occur sometime during the latter half of the tribulation, just before God's wrath is fully unleashed. Each perspective offers a different timeline, but all share the core belief in Jesus' return to save his followers. Now, let's talk about Jesus' teachings, which are central to understanding the significance of the rapture. Jesus' message was all about love, compassion, and forgiveness. He taught us to love our neighbors, to forgive those who wrong us, and to live humbly. His teachings, like the Sermon on the Mount, emphasize the importance of mercy, justice, and living a righteous life. Jesus' life itself is the ultimate example of these principles. He healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, and even raised the dead. His miracles weren't just supernatural acts, they were profound demonstrations of God's love and power. They showed that through faith, we can experience divine intervention in our lives. For Christians, the rapture isn't just about being taken up to heaven. It's about being reunited with Jesus, the embodiment of hope, love, and salvation. It's a reminder to live according to his teachings, to be ready at any moment, and to keep our faith strong. As we navigate the uncertainties of life, Jesus' message remains a guiding light, urging us to live with compassion and integrity, preparing our hearts for the day when we will meet him face to face. Signs of the Second Coming. In recent times, the signs pointing to the second coming of Jesus Christ are becoming more apparent. Imagine living in a place where every day brings new wonders and mysteries that seem to align with ancient prophecies. This is the reality in Jerusalem today. One of the most compelling signs is the growth of messianic congregations in occupied Palestine. These groups, who believe in Jesus as the Messiah, are increasing in number. This resurgence is seen by many as a significant indicator of the approaching fulfillment of biblical prophecies. The Bible tells us that the Jewish people will recognize Jesus as their Messiah before his return. This growing belief among the Jewish community is viewed as a step towards that prophecy coming true. All these signs, the growing faith among Messianic Jews, the celestial events, the mysterious sounds, and the plagues, seem to align perfectly with the prophecies of the Bible. For believers, these events are not just random occurrences, but divine signals that the world is on the brink of a significant change. The anticipation of Jesus' return encourages us to live with purpose, compassion, and hope. As we witness these signs unfold, they call us to reflect on our faith and prepare our hearts for the incredible events that lie ahead. Connection between ancient and modern events. Jerusalem is a city where the past and present come together in remarkable ways. Walking through its ancient streets, it's easy to feel the weight of history all around you. And now, as recent events unfold, it seems like ancient prophecies are coming to life. Think about the prophet Isaiah's warnings of thunder, earthquakes, and fire. Today, we see eerie lights in the sky, hear strange sounds, and witness swarms of locusts in Jerusalem. It feels like Isaiah's words are echoing through time, showing us their ongoing relevance. These connections are not mere coincidences. They remind us that the stories and prophecies of the Bible still matter today. They bridge the gap between ancient times and our modern world, showing us that the divine narrative continues. Consider the return of the Jewish people to occupied Palestine. Many view this as a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. The Bible speaks of the scattering and eventual return of God's people to their homeland. Today, we see this prophecy unfolding, with Jewish life flourishing in the land. It's a powerful illustration of the enduring truth of these ancient texts. Then, there's the topic of the Third Temple. Despite the political and religious tensions around the Temple Mount, the hope for rebuilding the temple is strong among many believers. This mirrors the ancient hope for a place where God's presence can dwell among us. These modern events, seen through the lens of ancient prophecies, give us a unique perspective on our world. They encourage us to reflect on our place in this grand story, to see the divine hand at work today, just as it was in the past. As we witness these connections between ancient and modern times, we're reminded that we are part of a larger narrative that continues to unfold.